Hi, everybody, and welcome to Brand New 2020 chat show. I'm Olivia from Shoot and Share, and I'm your personal branding photographer.
And I'm Tam. I'm the brand designer, a brand and graphic designer. And together, Olivia and I have created #BrandU2020, which is a virtual meeting place for small business owners looking for expert advice, hints, tips on everything to do with brand visibility, marketing, design, and brand photography.
Yes, so thank you very much to all of you for liking our Facebook page and joining us into our private group. Tam and I are very passionate about brand visibility, which is why we've created this group. So we hope it's going to be a very useful platform for you guys to help you boost your business and bring your business out in the open and be more visible. We'll also want to know who is with us today on this live chat show. So please, write on the comments if you're watching it live, write #live, or if you're watching it in replay, write #replay. And Tam and I and Trudy will be there to answer any questions you may have. So feel free to pop them in the box as well.
Yes, and so let's get started. This morning, it is a great pleasure to welcome the amazingly talented Trudy Simmons. Trudy is from the Daisy Chain Group, and she's a clarity and productivity business coach. A lot of sharp words for Monday morning. And she also runs the Hampshire Women's Business Networking Group. Very big, warm welcome, Trudy.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Welcome.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself this morning. What do you do? How long have you been running? You run the Daisy Chain Group. How long have you been running that?
I've had the Daisy Chain Group for 10 years. I started it in Australia to have a business coaching platform to help women entrepreneurs to grow their businesses from a place of what they want to do rather than what they think they have to do or should do. So that was a really important distinction for me in helping people to grow towards their success by taking action, but being absolutely clear on the direction they want to take.
Brilliant. And you've recently undergone a rebrand in the past year. What prompted this rebrand?
Over 10 years, I think I've done 3, maybe 4 rebrands. And it's usually where I sit and realize that I need to develop in some way. And in that development of myself, in elevating, in thinking more about how I want to be more visible, then a rebrand, I think, is a very important part of that process. So about probably 18 months ago, maybe 2 years, I sat and thought, right, I'm back in the UK now. The Daisy Chain Group is here. So how can I reassert for myself what this is and what the value is that I'm bringing? So I decided that rebrand was the way to go, and it's a hell of a process to go through.
Brilliant. And it's a really nice exercise to do, especially when you want to transform yourself and sort of elevate yourself in your business. So yeah. Great. Brilliant.
Yeah. Trudy, does your brand have a specific personal story that you would like to share with us? Maybe explain to us why you call it the Daisy Chain Group.
Yeah, I had an epiphany. I had my own business. I had, I think, 3 businesses by the time I did this pivot. And I had to go and hold a networking event for 30 women entrepreneurs. And I woke up in a foul mood, as we can do. And so I thought, okay, I need to get myself out of this. How can I make myself happy to be able to go and entertain people for the next few hours? So I put on my Daisy dress. I put on my Daisy perfume. And I thought, you know what? Daisies just have that thing that makes me happy. And as I started thinking about that, I remembered all these stories from my childhood of sticking daisies in my dad's beard when I was about 2 years old, and making daisy chains with my little sister and with my mum. And so I just realized that daisies had always made me happy. And I thought, that's it. I'm going to call my business something that makes me happy. And then on the flip side of that, I also found out from having American clients that a daisy chain wheel is a cog in a machine. And when that cog is in place, everything else works. So, and that's how I help people with their businesses, with my intuition. I hear what you're not saying out loud. So I literally get to that cog and we start shaking it a bit and working out how to click it into place so that everything else works. So I love that bit.
And you are very good at it. I've been on a few calls with you, and you are very, very good at getting those cogs working in a business.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's that absolute joy and aha when you see somebody go,
Click,
oh, she's just heard something that I did not say out loud.
That light bulb comes on.
Yeah, and it clicks. It's fun.
Brilliant. Amazing. So this rebrand, obviously learning from experience with clients, a rebrand has an effect on a business owner as well as a business. Tell us about that impact it had on both yourself and your business when you went through that and come out the other side.
Yeah, and each time I've done this, it has it's done it in a different way. But in this one in particular, I felt like what I needed and wanted to do was to become more professional, but still contain as I can't contain myself.
No.
Still be able to show my personality, but to be seen as more professional.
Yeah.
So this rebrand in particular gave me a lot more confidence in being able to be visible, because I'm not worried about being visible for myself on video, on Facebook Lives, all those kinds of things. But I have no visual capabilities whatsoever. So to have this complete rebrand, which included the patterns and textures and things that I know nothing about, it gave me so much more confidence in being able to be visible in all ways for my business.
So now that you've had this amazing rebrand, did you have a personal branding photo shoot? And what made you decide to have one?
Right. I have spoken to a lot of women entrepreneurs over the years. And one of the things that I say to people is there's two things that I would spend my last dollar on, or pound over here, a VA and a personal branding photographer.
Mm-hmm.
When I had my first branding photography done in Australia, I turned up to the photo shoot with a suit jacket. And anybody knows me just wonders what on earth I was thinking. But I was still in my corporate mindset of, we must wear a suit. We must be seen as professional in this way.
Mm-hmm.
So to turn up to that photo shoot with a suit jacket was an oxymoron of who I actually am. Thank goodness I had a branding photographer that knew me, and she said, let's just do some funny shots. And those were the shots that ended up being used for my branding. This was 7 or 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. So over the last 2 years, what I did was drove around looking for a field of daisies over here. And I found one. And I rang the photographer and said, I have just passed a field of daisies. We have to get in there. When are you free? Today, tomorrow? I can do it now. I'll go get my dress. So then I found out that the field wasn't actually owned by anybody. So we had to gate vault over the gate to get into this field of daisies, which was totally brambles. So every photo that I had taken, one of us had a bramble stuck up our bum somewhere, or on our legs. We were scratched to hell when we got out of there. But the photos were amazing. And it made me so happy to be in this field of daisies and to get this branding shots that really encapsulated how I feel about my business.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a great story and a fun one too. And you've perfectly illustrated the importance of having good imagery is for your brand and for all your visuals. Personal branding shoot goes beyond just your corporate headshots. They're there to capture your values, your passion, but also your personality, and that's clearly what you guys did during that shoot.
Yeah.
So now that you had all these amazing photos, how were you going to utilize them?
Well, because I had the rebrand, I definitely wanted to utilize them on my website, on sales pages, on social media, all the things that you need to be able to be visible in. Yeah. I also really believe that people buy from people when you are your brand. So I needed to be able to get those photos across in a way that was personable, but also I'm here for you, I can help you. Yeah. So I was very careful in getting the photos done, of making sure that I was clear on how I was going to use them. So some photos were more to the left, some were more to the right. Yeah. Some were specific things that I was able to use them in lots of different ways. Because really, you'd know more than me, Olivia, but I have probably 5, maybe 6 photos that I use on everything.
On everything. Your favorite ones, yeah.
So what? Sorry, it's good to have them at different sort of landscape and portrait and different sort of ways of using them. So yeah,
absolutely. That should be properly planned with your photographer before the shoot, so that you can go straight to the essential and take the photos that you actually need, and not just taking photos for the hell of it. That's great, Trudy. And so what impact did those photos have on your business? Did they help you bring visibility to your brand? Did they help you attract more ideal clients? Or did they boost your confidence?
I think more than anything, what I love about personal branding photos, rightly or wrongly, is that they capture my personality in a way that if you don't know me, those photos absolutely portray who I am.
Yeah,
there's an authentic, I feel there's an authenticity to them that just says you're either going to like me or not like me, because I'm not going to be sensible about most things. I'll be very sensible, my finger comes out, I'll be very sensible about business and about how to get things done and to not get in your own way. But other than that, no.
That's what I love about your branding and your photos, is they do, knowing you, they do encapsulate exactly who you are. And I think that's such a powerful thing to have as part of your business.
And I appreciate that, because that says that I've done the right thing in how I've captured whatever all of this whole package of branding is.
But what's interesting, if I could just pop in there, is you said that you've been in business for 10 years and this was your last sort of rebrand. And it's interesting to let maybe some of the audience know that it does take time to get to know yourself as a business woman, as a business owner. I've been in business 15 years, and it's only now that I'm like you, comfortable with my brand, comfortable with who I am as a businesswoman. So it can be a long process. Some people get it straight away, and some people, it may take a bit of time.
Well, and whether you get it straight away or it takes a long time, you're going to pivot. So there's always going to be a change after a few years. So roll with the changes and make sure that your branding always portrays who you are and what you want and who you want to be seen as.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very good point. So that you can grow into it as well, isn't it? It's very good to be able to grow into that brand. Obviously, with everything going on at the moment, do you believe that investing in brand visibility is a must today? What advice would you give to other businesses who are currently considering a rebrand?
What crazy times we are in. I think that lots of people are able to look at this as an opportunity, and whether that opportunity is that you can grow your business, because there are industries that are absolutely winning out there, whether it's the opportunity of looking at what your business is, why you do it, and how you want to be seen, then the visible side of how you can portray your business, you can plan it out in such a big way. So anybody that can invest at the moment, I think investing in visibility, however that looks to you, is a really it is an investment in the future.
Brilliant.
I mean, like we just said, we're living through a difficult time at the moment and a bit of a crisis. And many small business owners feel the urge that they have to implement very rapid changes to the business. So what actions did you take with your business, and how did you respond to this situation yourself?
First of all, there's rapid response and there's rash decisions, and I think that making rash decisions right now can be harmful to your business in the long term. So approaching anything with a calm and clear head will give you more for the future. With my business, I am very much a very quick decision maker and doer. But with this, I've actually sat back for the last week, 10 days, and watched what's happening with everybody, because I can better help people when I can see the patterns. So I am in the process this week of sitting down and looking at what I now need to do for my business, because I can see how things are about to change and happen for the community that I run and the community of people that I'm in with women entrepreneurs.
Brilliant. And then also just tapping in that, obviously you've got a huge network in your Hampshire Women's Business Networking Group. And like you say, you're watching what's going on with everyone because you're in a prime position to have an overview on so many types of local businesses as well. We all understand that obviously with everything happening, the prime concern is finances and whether financially they can afford to do all of these different things to be able to grow their business in the current situation. Should businesses, like you say, should they be recognizing this as an opportunity? You may have said that already, touched on that earlier. Is there anything that you'd like to add there?
Yeah, I do. Look, I always look at anything as an opportunity. I'm a perpetual positive person, is what I've decided in the last few days on the CPs. So I always look for opportunity and hope. And in this situation, I keep saying, the more that we can invest at this stage, the more that we will reap it in the future.
Afterwards.
But the fear and the panic that's around people, the thought of investing is a very hard thing to do. But even if you found another small business in whatever capacity and bought something from them, invested in them, said, I want to invest in you, can I pay it off over months? Whatever it is, I think, as small businesses are in a prime position for helping the economy in the long term.
Yeah, absolutely. So for all these businesses out there who maybe are feeling a little bit alone or stuck or can't, bring themselves to take any decision, well, what advice would you give them so that they can keep their focus and their direction?
Calm, clear heads. If you are able, and it's very hard for people that have kids at home as well, it's great to sit here and say, make a routine, follow a schedule. But it's a very hard thing to actually be able to do. But in the bigger, if you are able to realize the amount of hours that you may have in the day or in the week for your business, it is not a case of saying schedule in 10 hours a week when you've got everything else going on at home. It is realizing that you may only have 2 hours a week to dedicate to your business. So how are you going to make those hours productive, whatever they are?
And Trudy, you've obviously got the networking groups that are going as well, which are part of the Hampshire Women's Business Group. What actions have you taken to put in place to maintain those meetings? And how are you finding these changes that you've put in place?
I'm doing, so I've changed everything to online networking, the Crazy Daisy Networking Club. It just makes me happy to say it. So the Crazy Daisy Networking Club was launched almost before it was announced that we were in complete lockdown. I've been wanting to do this for the last year, but I was so busy putting on events that, something always gets pushed down the pile. So I launched that and it's been amazing. Amazing for me because connecting with people is really important to how I feel about putting out, is that the right word? Externalizing. It's really important to me to be able to see people and also to be able to feel useful for me. So in people coming along to networking, in talking, in telling us about what your business does, it actually puts you in the present tense rather than in the fear factor of what might happen. When we all get stuck in the mights and the shoulds and the have-tos, it's not helpful to your future growth. So yeah, it's good.
Okay. And so, thank you, Trudy. Sadly, we've come to the end of this interview, but you've been an amazing guest and you're such a huge inspiration to so many businesswomen out there in Hampshire and I'm sure around the world as well. Do you have a final piece of advice you'd like to give them, some motivation? Give us your last piece of advice.
Okay. I think that the biggest thing that I've learned over the 10 years is that the minute I decided that I was just going to be me and that I didn't have to wear a mask anymore to try and be different, to try and be different people to different people. The minute you drop that mask and you are just you in your business, then people will buy from you.
Very good advice. Thank you, Trudy. You can find out more about Trudy's work on her website. It's www.thedaisychaingroup.com and on her Hampshire Women's Business Networking events, which is on her Facebook group, and that's at Hampshire Women's Business Group on Facebook. And I'm looking forward to joining you at one of those virtual networking groups.
Brilliant.
Yes, they're amazing. You need to go. So thank you, everybody. Please join us again next Monday when at 11:30 in the morning, when we'll be chatting and welcoming another guest.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Trudy.
Thank you,
Bye.
Trudy. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.